Very good morning, students. Welcome back to first year physics. So in the previous we finished about a behavior of wire under increasing a load and as well as the Young's modulus of determination of a wire. Now I want to say another one, compressibility. Sir, what will be the compressibility? Compressions. We can say compressibility is nothing but a compressions. It is nothing but a, we know bulk modulus, right? Bulk modulus is nothing but a K. Compressibility is nothing but a the reciprocal of bulk modulus. We know bulk modulus. Clear? Bulk modulus is nothing but a K. K is nothing but a, it is the stress by volume stress by, I want to write here volume stress by volume strain, right? Are you remember this? And here K is nothing but a volume stress is nothing but a, we can say F by A and here delta V by V minus. So K is equal to P by, we can also say V into delta V. So this is originally we can say bulk modulus. Now let us come to the point is compressibility is nothing but a, it is 1 by K. No? Here you are supposed to write V by delta V. It is nothing but a, we can call delta V by V into PV. See, the reciprocal of bulk modulus is nothing but a, we can say compressibility. Now come to the point is units and dimensions we need to write. We know bulk modulus is nothing but a, in CGS system we can say it is dyne per centimeter square is 1 and in MKS we know it is newtons per meter square. It is for bulk modulus. Now it is reverse, no? CGS system we can say it is centimeter square per dyne and MKS it is meter square per Newton. As well as the dimensional formula also we know, that is ml inverse t power minus 2. Now you write is m power minus 1 L t square. So this is what it is related to the compressibility, and here it is the compressibility is nothing but a reciprocal of bulk modulus, right? And here I want to say another one. Suppose if you take a rigid body, I want to say about a rigid. See, if there is a rigid body is there, is it possible to compress? Not possible. Rigid body is to be possible to compress. It is impossible to compress. The compression is nothing but we can compress it. So that the rigid body it is not possible to compress. So that and here ideal liquid also incompressible. We can say. See, rigid body is not compressible, and ideal liquid, you say ideal liquid also it is not possible to compress, and compressibility for these is 0. That is we can say C is equal to 0 for rigid body and ideal liquid, because ideal liquid also it cannot be compressed. So a rigid body also cannot be compressed and ideal liquid also cannot be compressed, whereas the bulk modulus is what happens for this, because C is equal to 1 by K. No? Now K is equal to 1 by C, so that for these materials what happens, it is to be infinite. Bulk modulus, rigid body and ideal liquid is to be infinite. It is to be infinite, which is very very important, everyone. Clear? It is related to compressibility, right? Okay. And here there is another one is there related to the bulk modulus. Actually, isothermal bulk modulus of elasticity. Side heading is isothermal bulk modulus of elasticity. Isothermal bulk modulus of elasticity. You write as isothermal bulk modulus of elasticity. Isothermal bulk module of elasticity. Sir, what is this? Actually, isothermal bulk modulus of elasticity is nothing but in case of a gases, you take a gas, for the gas thermally isolated. I mean here it is gas is a isothermal, and definition is defined as it is, we can say you take as a PV is equal to constant, because it is obeys the isothermal process is obeys the Boyle's law. This is we know. It is obeys the Boyle's law, no? So that you say PV is equal to constant. Now we need to find isothermal bulk modulus. Here it is isothermal bulk modulus is nothing but we can call as the E theta. Now let us differentiate with respect to its own. So if I differentiate with respect to own, therefore P into, you keep a P is constant and change in volume is takes place. Now you keep a volume is constant, there will be a pressure is changes is equal to 0. So P dV is equal to, we can say, minus V into dP. Now here you write a P is equal to, pressure is equal to, there will be a change in pressure is there, that is minus V by dV into dP. We can take like this. Clear? It is P is equal to, pressure is equal to, or else we can write as P is equal to minus dP by V, dV by V we can. So that here dP by dV by d is nothing but a change in pressure by change in volume is equal to modulus, that is we can say bulk modulus. Bulk modulus, isothermal bulk modulus. So that isothermal bulk modulus is equal to, we can call theta. Is nothing but a pressure, it is equal to pressure we can say in case of a isothermal bulk modulus. Like in the same way we have adiabatic also. You take a adiabatic because it is isothermal. In the same situation you take a adiabatic bulk modulus. So this is represented as isothermal is like E theta. Now adiabatic we can take as E phi. Now here also is adiabatic, is it obeys the Boyle's law? It does not obey the Boyle's law, but it is obeys the other law, PV to the power gamma is equal to constant. Yes, of course. Now again you take an differentiation for individual. Suppose you keep a pressure is constant. Now you take any differentiation with respect to this. There it is to be gamma, right? V power gamma minus 1 into dV plus. Now you keep a V gamma is constant and dP is equal to 0 it is, because we are taking the differentiation with respect to individual. Now better you take this one, P gamma V gamma minus 1 dV is equal to V gamma dP. Now here V power gamma minus 1 is there, no? You write it is V power gamma into V power minus 1 dV is equal to V power gamma into dP. Better V power gamma cancel it. P gamma dV by V is equal to dP. Now again you write P gamma is equal to dP by, better you bring this side, dV by V. See, this is we can call as the adiabatic bulk modulus. So P gamma is equal to, you say, E phi. This is we can call as the equation 2. This is, you say, equation 1. Now better you take either a 1 by 2 or a 2 by 1, your wish. So suppose if I take a 1 by 2, it is E theta by E phi is equal to, E theta will be P by P gamma. So P cancel. E theta by E phi is equal to 1 by gamma, or else E phi by E theta is equal to gamma also we can. So these relations are related to what? About a isothermal and adiabatic bulk modulus. Clear? And you go through these derivations. Okay. Now come to the point. The next topic, Poisson's ratio. See, Poisson's ratio. So what is this? Sigma we can. See, Poisson's ratio is nothing but a, we can say, suppose we can define like this. Let us you take a one material of a wire, you take like this, or else you want to take a big one. See, there is a one wire which is suspended freely like this. Clear? And the diameter of the wire is D and the radius of the wire is R. Concentrate. Here for this which one about a Poisson's ratio, we need to say, suppose when there is a load at the end, therefore there is an extension produces in the wire. The extension is taken in the wire, that is there will be an extension produced and there it is to be diameter is decreases, of course diameter is decreases, but the length is increases. Is it increases? No, because the original length you say it is L, and here after applied a load there will be a length is increased, you say L1 it is. See, because of the load applied, so diameter is decreased and length is increased. See, when there is a diameter is decreased or radius is decreased, also we can say radius is decreased, of course, so that there is a change in diameter to original diameter is there. That's what we can call, that is we can call as a lateral contraction strain. You write as lateral contraction strain. Contraction strain, that is nothing but a, it is also strain, but this strain related to what? There will be a change in diameter, that is you write as change in diameter to original diameter. Okay, original diameter, or we can also write as change in radius to original radius. So that lateral contraction strain is equal to lateral contraction strain is equal to, we can say change in diameter, no, minus delta, right, minus delta d by d. Yes, there is a change in diameter, or we can also write minus delta r by r. Why minus? Because there is a diameter is decreased. See, this is the one case when there is a load added. There is a one case when there is a load added. Suppose there will be an extension produced, no? Yes, that is we can call longitudinal strain. Longitudinal strain is nothing but a change in length by original length. Of course, change in length is nothing but a delta L by L. This is, one is lateral contraction strain, one more is longitudinal strain. Now the Poisson's ratio is defined as, the Poisson's ratio is defined as within the elastic limit, the ratio of lateral contraction strain to longitudinal longitudinal strain. That is you write as the ratio of lateral strain to longitudinal strain it is. So of course we can write sigma is equal to lateral strain is minus delta d by d by it is delta L by L, or else we can also say minus delta r by r by delta L by L. So this is about a what? Poisson's ratio. And you remember, for this it is the ratio, no? Of course it is a strain, no? For the sigma, is there any units? No units and no dimensions, because it is the strain, and also it is a, also it is what? It is related to like ratio. So that for a Poisson's ratio, no units and no dimensional values. This is the very important, right? And come to the point is, see, theoretical values, the Poisson's ratio of theoretical values is, see, there is a theoretical value, Poisson's ratio theoretical minus 1 to 0.5. It is a theoretical. And what about practical? 0 to, we can say 0.5. See, most of the solids, remember, most of the solids, it is lie between 0.2 to 0.5 only. So this is one is experimental values, one more is the theoretical value. Theoretical values are minus 1 to 0.5, and here for a practical limits are 0 to 0.5, and here most of the solids are lies between 0 to 0.4, right? Is it okay now? Suppose if I take a steel, I want to say for a steel, say steel value sigma is equal to, it is on and average is 0.28, right? If I take a steel, sir, if I take another one, so suppose if I take a aluminium and alloys, aluminium and alloy, so that aluminium and alloy if I go, therefore aluminium and alloy if I take 0.33 will get. See, most of the solids, that's what I am telling, most of the solids lies between like 0.2 to 0.5. So this is the explanation related to Poisson's ratio, right? And you remember, there will be a, on the basis of Poisson's ratio also we have one problem. See that I will tell you the problem, okay? Right. So there is a one problem is given. So the problem I'll read you. See, a 3 centimeter long copper wire is stretched to increase its length by 0.3 centimeter. Length is increased by 0.3 centimeter. Find the lateral strain in the wire. Lateral strain is asking. If the Poisson's ratio of the copper wire is 0.26, write the given data. Sigma is given as 0.26, the Poisson's ratio of the copper wire. The length of the wire is given as 3 centimeter, and there will be an extension produced because of the applied. Then there it is to be delta L is given as 0.3 centimeter. Is asking find a lateral strain. Then sigma is equal to lateral strain by longitudinal strain. Fine. So here sigma is given 0.26. Lateral is asking. Yes, lateral strain you write. And here longitudinal is nothing but a delta L by L. Clear? And again 0.26 is equal to lateral strain is we can say we need to find lateral strain by longitudinal is it is 0.3 by 3. So better you cross multiply. 0.26 into 0.3 by 3 is equal to lateral strain. So after simplification, LS lateral strain is equal to, see approximately we will get, so the value will be lateral strain is equal to, it is equal to 0.0026. This is the one question related to what? Lateral strain question, right? In our material also once I'll check, then if any problem is there then we'll do it. So before that I'll tell you very short answers also, because on the basis of Poisson's ratio there is a one very short answer. Yeah, of course in the short answers is given define Hooke's law of elasticity, proportionality limit, permanent set and breaking stress. This is our define modulus of elasticity, stress strain and Poisson's ratio. Of course in this is given as 4 marks. This question related to the strain is given as 4 marks, right? And as well as it is given as the one on the basis of a Poisson's ratio is given as one question, right? Yeah, there is another question is given in the material. So on the basis of this Poisson's ratio, yes, page number 266, question number 15. Page number 266, question number 15. Look at. So the question number is 15. A steel wire of length is 20 centimeter. Is stretched to increase its length by 0.2 centimeter. Find the lateral strain of the wire if the Poisson's ratio of the steel is 0.9. Of course, same question it is. So just now we finished. Like only same question is asking what now? Lateral strain. So write as lateral strain is asking no. Is the question mark. It is the subject. So Poisson's ratio is equal to lateral strain by, of course, longitudinal strain. So the given data you write, first of all lateral strain is equal to, fine, is equal to sigma into longitudinal strain. So sigma value given 0.19 and longitudinal strain, for that it is given length of the wire given 20 centimeter and delta L is given 0.2 centimeter. So here you write lateral strain is equal to, right, is equal to sigma 0.919 into longitudinal strain is nothing but a delta L by L. So 0.19 into delta L is given as 0.2 by 20 centimeter. So 0.1 into 10, this is you multiply, so that you will get like this, it is equal to 0.19 into 0.2 by 20. So approximately we may get it is 0.19 into 10 power minus 2, or else 0.0019 it is. Which one? Lateral strain it is. Clear? This is regarding lateral strain. Like it is a one question. Of course, in the same page number we have other also 12, 13 and 14 also is there, that will do in the next class, and also 11 also we need to do in the next class, we'll do it, right? So this is about a Poisson's ratio. On the basis of Poisson's ratio we did a 2 problems. Suppose follow these 2 problems, and we'll continue next class with other topic, and as well as other problems also we need to finish. So is it okay now? So this is the today's class, and thank you very much. We'll see you in the next class.